Hello folks and welcome to another race in IRC F1 Tier 2. Today I'm joined by my fellow commentator Eccentric, and hopefully we'll be able to give you guys some interesting entertainment today in the circuit of Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. Of course, which is located in Interlagos, Brazil. So Eccentric, we did have quite an eventful Tier 1 race yesterday, and going into Tier 2, what are your expectations? What do you think is going to happen? What are you looking forward to, of course?
Yeah, first of all, hello to everyone tuning in. And coming to Brazil, yes, it's a very short track, very flowing track. I'm expecting quality to be really close. And one thing I would like to keep an eye on is the pit exit, which is very easy to get damage there. So yeah, a close quali and hopefully a good race like the Tier 1 race.
Yep, absolutely. And without further ado, let's move into the hot lap, which is provided, of course, to you by Eccentric. But before that, we'll have a short bird's eye view of the entire circuit. And of course, looking at the circuit itself, there are two long straights, and you have the sector 2 that's predominantly dominated by low-speed corners, which does mean that there's a track that's generally really good for wheel-to-wheel and following closely. The track has quite a lot of elevation. Sector 1, 2, you're going downhill, and eventually you start making the uphill climb. Now, moving on to the hot lap.
Speed Brothers, we are at the Brazilian Grand Prix circuit, going around a fantastic hot lap to show you how it's done at this circuit. Down to third gear, going through the first of the Senna S's, already up to fourth on exit. As your car shoots down the Curva del Sol onto the first straight of this track, as you get a fantastic overtake opportunity lined up through here, the Decidado Lago, which is your turns 4 and 5, exiting 4, going through 5. As your car shoots up this short straight before 6, which then shoots you onto 7, taking good apex there. And finally, the slightly wide hairpin of 8, which then shoots your car through 9. It's like a sweeping left-hander, which then again shoots you uphill. Through to 10, Bicado Pato, a tighter hairpin, can get an overtake done if you're on fresher tires, which then shoots you onto 11, and then the famous Junshao turn 12 corner. I don't know why it's got such a Chinese name for a Brazilian track. Anyway, shooting you down 13, 14, as your car opens up through this fantastic, fast sweeping section where Gasly Hamilton had their epic duel, as we see what it's like to set a hot lap at this fantastic circuit.
And that was a lap around around Interlagos by Eccentric. And the drivers are readying up right now, and we will be entering qualifying in a couple of seconds. Going into qualifying, I'm interested to see how many people are going to end up breaking their wings on the pit exit.
Yeah, definitely. That pit exit, it's very confusing because you feel you can put the power down, but the wall comes close really fast, and you can easily lose a wing there.
Yep.
So yeah, that's one thing to keep an eye on.
Give me a sec as I get our in-race telemetry running. Yep, we do have
Coming to the track itself.
So we have a cloudy qualifying followed by a race that will start off dry, but then will go on to become cloudy, but not too much. And
Just like the Tier 1 race, there's no rain.
Yep.
I think some drivers would be happy about that.
We should be having the constructors driver standings coming up any second. Quite a close battle going on the constructors right now. And speaking of the battle, our last race in Mexico has been discarded as we did have a host issue which impacted a lot of drivers. So as a result, post Abu Dhabi, we will be redoing the race. So Aaron Gavin, who I think was P2 last time out in Brazil, has right now exited the pits.
Yep, Aaron Gavin, our first driver out, ready to settle up. Let's see what he can do.
Yep, absolutely.
It'll be interesting to see if anyone decides to go on the mediums. This will be very interesting because you can try. The medium soft is possible, but I think a majority of drivers will falling on the softs.
Yep, that's one thing for sure. I mean, we did see that we did see that those tires did have quite a good advantage. The alternate is not that strong here, I would say, compared to the what we saw in tracks like Mexico and USA. As we say that, we can notice Aaron Gavin already has a broken front wing. So
there we go. Our first,
but he is continuing on his lap.
Oh, interesting. You lose out a lot in sector 2 because of that.
You can see in the constructors a very spicy battle going on all the way from P6, I believe, all the way down to P14. I mean, if anyone here can be Bob the Rungle here. Now, we're on board Aaron Gavin, who of course did join us for the last race. I'm pretty sure it's going to be quite an interesting race. We can see Ferrari and Williams separated by 1 point. It would have been a bigger gap had the race in Mexico not been cancelled, but this does have given Ferrari a second chance.
Ferrari's had a horrible race in Mexico, and it's a good thing that it's being redone after Abu Dhabi. So they'll have a chance to close the gap and potentially take the constructors' title along with the driver's title.
Absolutely. But the driver's title, I think if Madhav can extend his lead, he will be able to. As we see, Washington and Nirma, who is currently hitting laps on a pair of mediums, and so is IRC Rand. But he seems to invalidate his lap and backed out of it at the moment. But Aaron Gavin crossed the line, sets a banker of 186, which I think is a decent time for a first run. We did have a pole time of 165 yesterday.
Yep, I'm expecting pole to be, it'll be nice to see some drivers in the 1.6, but I'd expect the low sevens to be pole.
Yep, as we say that, Madhav sets a banker of...
Madhav's already a 7.5.
This is a good lap, of course. We have his championship rival right now in both the constructors and drivers now exiting the final corner. Let's see what time he sets crossing the line. Hugs that inside, goes very 176. Very good lap.
That's the 10th off Madhav.
Yep. Cryptid is a driver who has joined for this race as a reserve, and he is doing quite respectable with the 186 himself. So right now, P5 to P9 looking very spicy. Deepak Raj also on a 195. On the softs, he will be entering that pack as well. Nirma, I think, is currently doing banker runs on side of medium, so I think he will also be joining this pack.
I think Nirma is just doing some practice runs in the medium, and when he goes onto the softs, let's see where he can qualify. Hopefully, he'll be looking to qualify in the top 10 to help win the constructors. But he has to set a good lap to do that.
Yep, absolutely. One second as we sort out some technical issues.
Yep. Apologies for the inconvenience.
Yep. Yeah, we can see a spun. There's a slow racing point in sector 1, and we're having yellow flags in sector 3 as well, which is quite interesting. We don't have the second car of Harry Rocks joining the race yet, the looks of it, but he will be joining soon, I believe. And
he will be joining.
Yep. Rand has a 189 on the mediums, so a very respectable time, and he's currently the fastest of the medium runners. Rambo also is 195, quite a bit of Rand, but still an impressive time nonetheless.
Yeah, but I don't think any. Oh, there we see Rambo losing it in the penultimate corner.
Yep.
Is that a reset to track? I think that's a reset to track.
Could be. Just went off the
just out the way. I think that's a reset to track.
Most of the drivers seems to have settled into into their pit box right now, and especially the top 8, they seem to be waiting to set their laps finally. Do we have anyone out on the lap right now? Avi seems to be starting a lap.
I think Cryptid, Avi's starting a lap. Cryptid also seems to be.
Yeah. Cryptid goes P4, but he is
very good.
But I think he is doing multiple laps on the same set of tires from the looks of it, because he has done 3 laps on that particular set of softs.
Yeah, hopefully he can improve on best set because you don't want to be starting on a 3-lap old soft.
Yep. Wilshire G currently on a lap right now. He is of course currently in. I believe this is his first lap of the session, so we don't have the deltas yet. But crossing the line, we will know how competitive his lap time is. Of course, the track has evolved, and it will be interesting to see what kind of time he sets.
Yep.
.176, so game on in the top 3. We have Electric
Yep,
also.
very good lap.
We have Electric also set a 1.8 on just a couple of minutes back.
Yep, the top 4 very close by, especially the top 3. Ooh, I think the Mercedes got in the way of one of the Red Bull. Not sure.
We have Abhi 17 now beginning his second hot lap of the day. Wilster seems to be heading back to the pits, but Madhav is still in the pits. Let's see what kind of lap Abhi can do now. The tricky Senna S of Senna S. You need to get a good exit. You need to basically slingshot your car onto the second straight, crossing the line. Let's see what time he does. Improves on his time, but he's off pole by 0.03 of a second. He goes wide, and that's invalidation.
Yep. It's invalidation from Abhi there. Very easy to go wide in that corner.
Yep.
I think the Senna S is the most common spot to invalidate, but even there, if you're not careful, you can go wide very easily.
Yep. We do know that this is a track that is quite tricky with what do you call penalties, but it's not as bad as tracks like USA, where it gets where like the penalties can seem extremely harsh. But in Brazil, there are only very few spots. If you know those spots well, it should be easy peasy to not have a clean race over here.
If it's possible, could you invite Hyrox? Seems to have some issues joining.
Speed brothers, we are at the Brazilian Grand Prix circuit going.
As mistake, we go to the hot lap. Sorry about that.
Yep.
Sorry about the slight inconvenience.
Yep, absolutely. Just give me a second as we set some settings back in track.
You see, Aaron Gavin has set a 1 minute 7.8 and goes into P4. So top 4 separated by only 3/10. So it's going to be
And
very,
you have
very close
Madhav on a
to get
second
pole.
lap, has not improved in his first sector so far. So it'll be
second sector is where all the time is gained. So let's see if we can
but
nail it.
he gets his rear all loosey-goosey in the second sector.
Let's see if we
can improve.
What time we can do.
Still off his own time. Has not improved.
Yep, almost a 10th of his own time.
I'm interested to know whether the overcast conditions have negatively impacted the overall performance. But let's see if he can improve on going out. But sets a purple sector, but I think it wasn't significantly better than his last lap as he did not improve on his own time.
Yep, half a 10 slower, so I think he'll have one more chance to improve on his time. Let's see what he can do.
Yep. Cryptid now beginning.
Still on those 3-lap old tires. I don't know why he's still on those tires.
Yep, a very strange position, of course.
Going into the Senna S, takes it relatively cautiously. Let's see how much he has gained. That's sector 1. He's gone green, but still 2.5 tenths off Madhav's time.
Yep.
Going into the fast left-hander and coming up is the long uphill right-hander. It's very easy to lose the car and exit here. But we see Cryptid not going wide. I think there's still a lot of time there. And this is where all the time is gained in sector 2, where the left combination of corners. This is where all the time is gained. So you have to nail every single exit, every single entry. And coming to the end of sector 2, let's see what he does.
doesn't improve, but
not
he's
improved.
only 3/10 of his personal best, so he's on for a 178 right now, which could put him
Yep, let's
P4.
see. Yep, will be a very good lap indeed if he can manage that.
Hugging the inside, let's see what he goes. He goes P6, so it looks like he lost a bit of time in the last sector. But
Yep, I
possibly in
think
the last
he
corner.
did
Oh,
not.
as we see Electrip right now cutting some grass on that Mercedes lawnmower.
Yep, I think Bottas will be proud. Continues to cut grass in the next corner as well.
Yep, Abhi17 on a lap at the end of sector 2. He does have one of the Red Bulls ahead of him. Goes purple a tenth and more than a tenth and half up. Let's see how he does crossing the line. A very tricky situation because he has now whether he'll have time for the next final run, but he'll now get he got a nice slipstream from the Red Bull. Oh, they're crossing the line. Goes forward by a 174.
Yep, goes pole by just over 1/10.
Yep.
Great eye from Abhi.
Yep, it's game on from all the top 3 right now because I believe everyone would be doing a last run.
Yep, it's perfectly set up the final run because top 4 within 2-3 tenths of each other, and it'll be interesting to see who can hook up that final lap.
We have Aaron
and
Gavin
who can
crossing
hold.
second sector, but he's currently 3/10 off 4. But can he get the P4 right now from Electrip and potentially P3 if he got a really nice last corner?
Yeah, very interesting to see as he crosses the line. Let's see what time he does.
Goes P4. The racing points have currently locked out the second row.
Yep, there's a purple sector 3 as well. Very good lap from Aaron Gavin.
Cryptid on his second run right now, but he's so my guess is that he's setting back-to-back laps.
Yep, he's going for 2 laps at a time, which I don't think is a good idea, but to each their own, I guess.
I think he is committing to the soft hard strategy, I believe. But you can see his rear end getting all wiggly, completely wiggly out of that corner. So I don't think they're in good shape right now. And of course, in sector 2, you need all the grip you can get.
Yep, I don't think he can pull off the soft medium because his tires will be dead by lap 9 or so, which will force him to go on the mediums.
Improving on his
He does
time.
Yep, he does improve on his time, even though he's done 2 laps on those soft tires. Let's see what time he can do.
We have Deepak Raj as well on a, but he seems to be quite a bit off. But Cryptid now crossing the line. Go speed 2, what a lap!
That's an insane lap from our approved challenger.
Where did that
What a
come
lap.
from? Yep.
Yeah, very good lap from Cryptid. Very impressed.
Madhav now beginning his final lap. Wilshire also is on his out lap right now, but let's see what Madhav can do on his final run.
Yep.
Does a personal best sector 3 on its out lap. So let's see if he can get a purple sector 3.
Here, let's see as he crosses the line to the end of sector 1. He's down on his time.
He's down on Abhi's
I
time
think
actually
he was
by
very
7.
conservative.
He's down on Abhi's time by 700 over there.
Apologies, my bad.
Yeah, but sector 2 is of course where you gain all the time, as sector 1 and sector 2 are barely a couple of corners.
Yep. And going with a long left-hander. It's very hard on traction here. You can easily lose the back end.
Yep.
He's coming with his right-hander as well.
Gets all.
As he does lose the back end. That's easily 2 tenths there.
Yep, improves on his personal best sector 2. So I think he has been struggling with that corner throughout qualifying.
Yep, I think he's not being able to nail sector 2 properly, but still he improved. Let's see if he can improve and go take provisional pole. No, he doesn't. Just under a tenth.
Good lap nonetheless. We have Wilshire G, who has invalidated his out lap. Rand so far not setting a lap, but he is getting closer. Let's see as he crosses the line. What time will he set?
Yeah, let's see where does Rand go.
Rand goes P11, so he had a really good performance in Mexico, but seems to be struggling a bit here.
Yep, he was in the lead at one point in Mexico, but yeah, P12 not good from Rand.
Deepak Raj will be beginning.
The race.
Deepak Raj will be beginning his final outlap in a couple of minutes.
Yep, I think Madhav will go for another run. He has the time to make it back to start another run, but let's see. Deepak Raj about to start his final lap. Currently P8 with a 1 minute 8.1.
I wonder if he'll get a nice slipstream from the Renault ahead of him.
Yep.
No, but chooses
But
not
I
to.
think the
But
Renault is picking. But yeah, I think that's around half a tenth gain because of slipstream. Let's see.
yep, let's see.
Just to nail the Senna S as well.
Who locks up? Has to fight the car on the outside. We can see a McLaren exiting the pits as he goes onto the second straight.
Coming to the end of sector 1. Hopefully the McLaren gets out of the way, and it does.
3 tenths
Is
of pole.
3 tenths of a beast time. Going into the long right-hander and into sector 2, the main part of sector 2. Let's see if Deepak Raj can. This is where his lap is make it or break it. Oh, I think he gets a little bit loose there. Gets a decent exit going into the next corner. There's a Mercedes in the way, which I don't think is helping him.
Yep.
But yeah, Mr. G takes provisional pole. The
Ooh, he gets blocked by that Red Bull.
Oh,
He had to
yeah.
abort the lap, but we're still on pole right now. So I believe he did 2 runs on the softs and has stolen pole position as Abhi has decided to stay in the pits. But let's see what Madhav can do as he has at purple sector 1 and has done a personal best sector 2.
Yep, let's see if he can snatch pole from Mr. G. Crossing the line now.
He takes pole position
And he
of
does take
172.
pole
Yep.
by 20 milliseconds. It's a great lap from Madhav.
Yep. So I think the track has improved drastically, and I think all the people who did not go into the pits in the last moment would be right now regretting it quite a lot. I think we saw a lot of improvement from most of the drivers.
Yep, I think Abhi will be kicking himself because he's lost provisional pole and is down, and now has to start from the second row.
Yep,
With
but
Griffin
on
alongside him.
a positive note, he does have the fresher tires of the top 3 right now. But let's go on the final laps. You have Electric on a lap right now, and it'll be interesting to see what lap time he's able to put. Of course, he did unfortunately have his hat trick of podiums taken away from him, but he'll be like, oh, he goes wide.
Oh, and he's completely lost it, and he's in the wall.
What a crash! Like, yep, and his car is retired, so that was terminal
Sorry
damage.
to interrupt, but can we get a quick invite to Harry Rocks? He's still not even able to join.
Yep, absolutely.
Possible.
Can't seem to find him.
Is he not online?
He's on. I got him. Yep.
Is there any more cars left to cross the line? I think Abarpan is not yet retired, I think. Is Abarpan on a lap? Or is he just not retired?
He has retired in the pits. I think we have qualifying. I think we're waiting for Abur Pinto right now.
I think Abarpan is not retired. We're waiting for him to. As coming to the end of quali, we have Charles Leclerc on pole, our championship leader with a 107.2. Close behind us Wills G in the racing point, only 16 milliseconds behind. Then we have our champion, and then we have Madhav's rival, Abhi 17 with a 107.4. Then we have our challenger Cryptid in P4, Aaron Gavin P5, Electric P6, Thermo, who's come back after 2-3 races out, is in P7. We have Don the Renault in P8. Deepak Raj, our other pro challenger, in P9. Avi, surprisingly, I was expecting him to be higher, but he can only manage P10. Then we have Faizan in P11, BK19 P12, Rant in P13. Another driver who I was expecting to be higher, Barpan P14, and I think it was Rambo P15. I didn't catch the P17, P18, P9.
Yep.
Yeah, now we have that 1 minute timer.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see interesting to see what strategies the bottom 10 goes on, because we do know that we do know that the all-terrain strategy is not very powerful here with the hardest selection of tires available in the entire season. But let's have a look at the tires different people have opted for. So of course top 10 on softs, but as it is right now, BK19, Aberpen and Mung on the mediums.
Yep, I can understand why they've gone on the mediums, but yeah, it's not that much quicker, the alternate strategy. But what I'm really interested in the top 10 to see whether they go on to the mediums or the hards after their stop, because the mediums is quicker, but if you even pit one lap earlier, it's very close to get to the end, and potentially some people could get a puncture. So yeah, that's one thing to look out for. As we wait for the drivers to ready up.
But actually, in this game, what I've historically seen is that the harder component of harder component of tire, the what do you call the fresher tires you have, it does actually give you much better pace through the entire stint. The lesser laps you do on the tire set is what's ideal.
Yep, it's true. Even one lap fresher tires matters a lot.
Speaking about turn one, turn one is also an interesting situation because it's a very it seems wide, but it's very difficult to actually make it through it.
Yep, I think some people will take the bait and go for the dive bomb into turn one to be a hero. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many people end up with no wing in turn one.
Yeah, but
it's a very short run to turn one as well.
Especially on the inside, it's a very deceiving left-hander, as you think you'll make it, but half time, like 10 times out of 20, like you're going to like overshot the if you're on the inside.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see who is going to outbreak themselves and cause a crash in turn one. Yep, waiting for our drivers to ready up. Also interesting to see how many drivers get disqualified in the formation lap, like in tier one. I think 5 drivers or 4 got disqualified in after turn 2. Hopefully nothing like that happens in tier 2 as well. We don't want any of the drivers to be starting on stone cold tires.
Yep. We did have a very interesting incident as what I think to recall the incidents, basically one driver the drivers ahead sped up, but one car in the train had decided not to go ahead, and that essentially caused a chain reaction where like multiple drivers like crashed into each other in the formation lap. But of course, thankfully we don't get damage in the formation lap.
Yeah, but it was basically a collision avoidance maneuver, and as a result of that, 4 to 5 drivers got disqualified.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Williams already like charging ahead. I think he wants to get some cold tires on the grid with everyone else so far back.
Yeah, Madhav is easily about 20 to 30 car lengths ahead. I think he needs to slow down there.
Yep.
Wilster G slowing down the pack. Pretty smart of him to do that, letting Madhav go out on his own and stay on the grid for longer.
As we see,
Electrip in the background going wide.
Yeah, I think he had to do some collision avoidance maneuver, but as we can see, Thermo quite a bit far back right now.
Yep, good thing he did not get disqualified. Maybe 60-70 degree tires for him at the start, which is not good.
So far, no disqualifications, but I don't want my commentator's jinx to like do any magic right now.
Yeah, yesterday I think Masoom was a victim of the commentator's jinx.
Yes.
As he spun out in the penultimate corner. So yeah.
I think there are various degrees of commentator's curse. I think the first level is the curse from SD, which are instant. Then we have Rusty commentator's curse, which works like after a few laps.
Yep.
Everyone has their, but so far it doesn't seem to have affected us. Everyone seems to be making their way onto the grid.
So far, I have not jinxed anyone. So let's see.
But
as a symbol.
Yeah, but
start finish line.
But a huge gap right now between some of the drivers right now.
Yep, the McLaren far behind. So yeah, we'll be you should keep an eye on Madhav's start. Let's see how good of a start he can get. I think his tires will be very cold, staying on the grid for so long. I think the last car is going in position.
Yep.
Should have the lights.
We'll have the lights.
Take it away, Masu.
We cannot see the lights. As Codman is like, we can't have the lights, but I believe the 5 lights are going off. We can hear the. And away we go as we seem to be having a glitch lobby as cars have gone ahead. Madhav seems to get a good start, and we can see he's trying to go around the outside of Winster as Abhi gets collided with some of the drivers, but he isn't moving. But Madhav completely goes ahead as I cannot make sense of what is happening right now with the lobby.
I think that Renault hit the wall and has retired. I think that was the Renault of Avi, if I'm not wrong. Or was it? Oh, it's Don who's retired as well. And I don't know what's happening. There's Williams just flew by. But yeah, the safety car out right now. I think Abhi also had contact with Wilster and lost it out of the second Senna.
Yeah,
and he's down in P6, so not a good start for him.
And Nirma gets a 5 second for ignoring yellow flag. Whoa, what just happened there?
How was Washington and Nirma in P1? What's happening there?
Yeah.
I think he's glitched out. He's definitely glitched out because he should not be in P1 right now.
I think
he does have control of the car.
I think we need to restart the lobby from the looks of it. Yep. We will have to restart the lobby because this doesn't look correct really. We're not sure what has happened, but there seems to be the whole lobby is going completely haywire right now as we're in lap 3 all of a sudden, while it's actually lap 2. Complete pandemonium down here as we can't seem to make sense what's happening here. We are trying to have contact with the host right now. Hopefully we will come to a decision soon, but something is really weird as nothing is right now making sense. So it's just really weird. I'm not sure what happened. Do hang on. We should be back on track in a couple of minutes.
Yes, the lobby shall be restarted right now.
Yep. Who's the host? If you can let me know that.
Alan is the host.
Yep. Who's the host again?
Faizan.
Okay. Yep. So we will be moving the host. We will be getting different hosts. Hopefully, we can avoid issues as both Electrip and Dawn has retired, but I think they are all coming back.
Yep, all the drivers have been told to retire, and we will get the new lobby up and running shortly.
Yep, absolutely. Currently waiting for.
We're waiting for the
Yeah, we're waiting for the host to be come back, and we should be joining lobby any second. Let's have a look if the lobby has been up yet. Once. We are into the lobby from the looks of it, and I think we will be restarting the race in a couple of minutes. But in the meantime, let's head back into our commentary box, as I have been kicked from the session just as we switched back.
So yes, not the start we wanted for the Brazilian Grand Prix, but yes, Codemasters is Codemasters, and we are waiting for the new lobby to start.
I'm not sure that's complete chaos. Give me a second. Oh, I believe the lobby has been restarted from the looks of it.
Have you joined the new lobby?
We are in. We should be in a couple of seconds. Yeah, but that start is complete chaos. I think some of the drivers got like really good. So I think there was some glitching, as I think some other drivers got desynced. Not sure what happened. Complete chaos. Hopefully, we would be able to get everyone back into the session this time.
I think Don will be very pleased with the restart, as he lost his front tire within 2 corners of the race. So as we have nothing to talk about, how was your race in Tier 1, Masoom?
I don't remember. I ended up being. I remember being in the walls. What I last remember.
I mean, before that, describe the events leading up to that glorious retirement.
Yes, it was good. Like, it was my first race on wheel, so I was still getting used to the what do you call, the wheel and dynamics. I think I had decent pace, but at the end of the day, I did not have the consistency to finish the race. But I think for the first race, I'm quite happy. But of course, you also had a really good race. I think you should have finished higher than given your overall speed. But you know, league racing is league racing, and sometimes things don't really work out. Yes, Arab. Yes,
second time I spun out from P2, so F in the chat for me.
Yep. Yes, Arab. I think we are in a red flag. I think this season has been a very live recreation of the 2020 season. As with the number of safety cars we've had in the, I think we have had only 3 races in Tier 1 which has not had a safety car.
Yeah. Tier 1 is clean. It does not paint a picture of the Tier 1 race. All the drivers are very clean in a Tier 1. But yeah, we have the odd retirement, odd crash out, odd spin, which causes the safety cars,
Yep, absolutely.
unfortunately.
Yep, Eccentric, we seem to be having a bit of lag from your end, so if you can just check your connection, that would be great. There seems to be some packet loss from your end.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's fine. It's audible, but if you can, I think possibly move to a place with a bit better connection. I think it would be a great help.
I'm sure. I'll try. Sorry about the lag.
So, guys, we saw the start, and we will be having a restart. So, for this race, what is your expectations regarding the restart? Do you think it's going to be even more chaos? Let's see how it is.
Hopefully, we don't see a Williams just fly through under safety car.
Yep.
That would be a good start.
As we mentioned that, we did have an interesting. So we're hearing information that Wilster G has a pedal that is not acting as it should. So I think that just make things interesting.
Hopefully he gets it fixed, because I mean, you don't want to race with a faulty pedal. It's the
Yep.
last thing you want in a league race.
Yep, these pedals are of course quite sensitive equipment, especially to dust, and that is, I mean, it's a different what do you call it, experience altogether compared to a controller, where it's basically like taking care of a car, where you have a lot of parameters that can go wrong, and you need to keep doing that regular maintenance.
Yep, definitely. As Prakhar would say, the contact cleaner is the best way to fix any pedal issue.
Yes, WD-40, let's not forget.
Yes.
Oh yeah, speaking about Tier 1, right, as it stands, the top 3 positions have been sealed in Tier 1, but there is a spicy battles going on all the way down the field, but I think at this point a lot of drivers are driving just to have fun, and hopefully, like, going into Abu Dhabi, we'll have a really good show put together by the drivers.
Yep, I think below, after P4, P5, till all the way till P12, I believe everyone is really close by. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the final standings will be, even though the top 3 has been closed.
Yep. So far, I think we are waiting for most of the drivers to get in, but we should be readying up soon. I can see Couple is not a spectator. So if he is
if you remember the weather, do you remember what the weather was?
I believe the weather was dry, clear, and then cloudy.
Alright.
It was cloudy, not overcast, by the way. Just clarifying.
Okay.
Yep. I can see a comment right now. We have a comment right now from RF Shagun, and he says that you can't win races at T1, but you can lose races at T1. So I think that kind of sums up, I think, like rule number 2 of league racing. The rule number 1 being consistent. That rule number 2 is that you can't. Yeah, what he said just now. You can't win races in T1, but you can lose races in T1. Many times you have seen drivers who have like insane pace lose out on what do you call the win, just because of a slight tap in turn 1, or sometimes bigger mistakes as well.
Yep, you need to be very cautious going to T1, and it's very easy and it's very tempting to go down the inside of basically every car ahead. But yes, it's a good balance between risk and reward, which I think people tend to. You need to be careful going to T1, because you can easily end up with a broken wing, which can easily cost you the race.
Yep. We are currently set in the qualifying grid, so of course we will be having a custom grid. We're just waiting for all the lobby settings to be set, and after that we will be starting. Speaking of, I think this kind of gives some drivers a second chance. I think most drivers would be now not taking risks, And of course, we did have the massive crash from Dawn 29 in the start, and this will essentially become a second chance for him as well. And I think we also had the Mercedes of Electrip, who retired while he was trying to evade. But of course, so all these drivers would now be taking the second chance, would be refocusing, and would be taking that experience from that chaotic turn 1 and trying to get back on the drivers. As we see that we have the drivers readying back up, and we would be entering the lobby soon in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it's great to see the lobby being restarted and all the drivers having to get a second chance. Hopefully, turn 1 is cleaner this time around.
Yep, absolutely.
No one dies. I think we should have Hyrox as well in the lobby, starting from Pila. That's great to have him, because I think he had some issues and was not able to join the lobby at the start. But yes, great to see him racing today. And it'll be really good if he can end up in the top 10, because every single point counts towards the Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship. We have 30 seconds to
So we have around a minute before the lobby does start again, as drivers will have to choose their setup, pick the race strategy. Of course, they have to start on the top 10 tires, which will be enforced.
Yep. Hopefully everyone remembers to choose a setup and we don't see anyone on the default setup. It'll be really sad.
Yep. What's up, Kapil? But we seem to be not able to hear you, as your audio seems really low. Hopefully everyone has a bit better. Hopefully everyone. Yep. We seem to be seeing a different array of strategy right now. As earlier Mung was in the mediums, but now he has gone for the softs. And similarly, seems like more drivers are going on the mediums right now. So that's an interesting strategy than the last race.
Yep. You see, Faizan, Washington, Nirma, and Harry Rocks, the only people outside the top 10 to start on the softs. So yeah, it will be interesting how long they can take those softs and then go on to the mediums.
Yep, we did see that. So unlike I did already mention this point. So just to give you a context, on a track like USA, when you're on the alternate strategy, when you finally switch on to the softs, you'll be setting lap times that are multiple seconds faster than the mediums. But on a track with the hardest selection of compounds, the difference is not as much. It's actually only a couple of tenths per lap. So you wouldn't see just drivers like massively closing in, like we had in what do you call USA and USA basically. So that means the alternate strategy is not as powerful as it is on those circuits. So I think the right strategy here is to go on the soft mediums or the soft hards if you want to pit a bit early and maintain track position. We do have the session starting right now. We can see the weather. It's set completely to clear, but I think that is because this was not designed for in this configuration. But either way, we do have the formation lab right now. We can see the standings once again. Madhav comfortably 31 points ahead of 21 points ahead of Abhi right now. Wawatex is in the standings, but he has forfeited the championship in the current state. And further back, we can see a big battle between P6 all the way down to P11. Electrip, of course, in P12, but he's been getting some big points. If he can keep getting those big points, he can finish in the top 10 quite easily. Avi Gondrog and Aaron Gavin also in this in the race as reserves, but of course, this is their first race. Charlotte being a bit more cautious this time, as there seems to be a bigger gap this time than before. And we have the constructor standings up. We can see William just a mere point ahead of Ferrari right now, and but behind them, Racing Point has comfortably taken P3. And further down the field, Mercedes and Renault quite close. Alfa Romeo, I think, if they get a win or something, if they get a good result, a couple of good results in the next 3 races remaining, especially with the Mexico redo, it's going to be an interesting season close.
Again, there's a big gap between P2 and P3, and I think Madhav is again going to be starting on cold tires. Looks like he's not learned
I
from
think
the
he'll lose
first
around a
time
couple
round.
of degrees, but hopefully he will be able to get a good start.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't spin out as a result of the cold tires. Let's see for the start. Let's wait for the start. So, Kapil, what are you expecting from today's race?
I just want the same thing that happened in the last restart. Need some action, need a safety car. That was very, very lacking in the last round. So hopefully they get their elbows out and we expect another boom.
Yes, that's what our Kapil loves.
Yep. Let me try to get Kapil's volume back in. Yep. I think that should be fine.
Is it better now?
Yep. A bit better. Like I have boosted you up, but let's see how it goes.
Hopefully this time we can see lights. Codemasters, please. Lights.
We don't have lights. We have sound. As speaking 5 lights, and we are now waiting for the lights to go out. As Electreb jump starts, Dawn jump starts. We have jump
we have
starts
2
all
jump
the way
starts.
around here.
That is not a good start for the Mercedes or the Renault. Don getting the second chance has absolutely thrown it away with the drive-through. But let's see, as we see Electric going bucking
But the top 3 gets away well, and we can see that Madhav, they have maintained position right now. But I can see the Ferrari of Abhi getting some pressure from Wilster into turn 4. But he keeps the position. He is in P2 right behind Madhav right now. But Madhav will be now looking to get ahead of Dawn, as the 2 jump-started cars will be absolutely kicking themselves. Tries to go around the outside there. Ooh, gets all wiggly. Oh my! Oh, as we have BK19 retiring, as there's absolute carnage at the back, and we have a VSC.
There's absolute chaos, as I think there are 4 cars trying to get back on track, and we have 1 casualty, that is BK19, who has retired.
Yep, and we did see Ran got a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Harry Rocks, which I think was under VSC. So I think BK9 retired, and the ensuing VSC, things got completely out of control.
I think the 2-3 cars were just bystanders as a result of BK19's retirement. Interesting to see if any of them picked the wing damage or not.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Electric and Dawn will be looking to push as hard as they can. As the VSC is ending it now, as we see one of the cars pit. I think that's Dawn and Electric serving their drive-through immediately.
As we have Thermo currently in P3 right now, and he's putting pressure on Abhi17, but he loses out in turn 1, and Abhi17 is now chasing at the back of Wilster, and Wilster right now in P3, P4 right now, as he's trying to get a Wilster, but back him there are some hyenas looking to get a free position there, as we have Faizan, who's up 6 positions, and Cryptid, who has lost 2 but is maintaining his position, and Deepak Raj gained 2, but Faizan a big gainer here. But further ahead, Wilshire G would want to get the one-up on his get past Thermo quickly to chase past his championship rivals. Thermo also gaining 4 positions, so really good performance from them.
Yeah, great start from Thermo and Faizan to gain 4 and 6 positions respectively. Hopefully they can maintain the position, as they have Wilster and Cryptid hot on their tail.
The big losers at the start was, I believe, Harry Rocks, and I think Electreb, Dawn, and BK19 of the start. With the jump starts, as well as the what do you say, the collision we had in turn 4.
Yeah, I think Harry Rocks is pitted as well, so I think he took damage as a result of that.
Yeah, but Wilster seems to be losing ground to Thermo right now. I think Thermo is right now absolutely gunning his ERS, but further ahead they have maintained positions. But now, Abhi17 sets a fast lap of 110.2, so he's right on the back of Madhav right now.
Yeah, we'll be looking to stay within DRS and hopefully overtake as soon as possible and build up a lead.
But a nice train right now forming between the top 4 to 5 positions right now. But it will be quite difficult to make positions up at this point. Cryptid showing quite lost 2 positions, but seems to be showing good pace. It will be interesting to see if he can finish higher up than where he is right now.
Oh,
he loses it.
Cryptid losing his wing and his chances of a top 10 finish, hopefully.
That was an instant commentator's curse.
Yeah. That is very, very unfortunate. As even in the Tier 1 race, we saw a couple of drivers, including me, lose it in that turn. So yeah, very unfortunate for
Thermo showing some
He was
absolute
running
brilliant
very
pace,
well.
but as he seems to be pulling away from Wilster, but Wilster will have DRS now.
Yeah, one thing I noticed, it's even if the car ahead is much quicker than you, if you are within that DRS window, you will be able to stay. So it's very crucial for him to be in the DRS. And I think Thermo's not gotten a good exit there.
Wilster right on the back of him. Will he send it around the outside? Let's have a look. Tries to go up. Thermo defends really well. Yep. Wilson needs to get that move done. As he's losing multiple seconds for a lap to the pack ahead.
Yep,
I did hear that he had some brake issues at the end of getting the restart.
Oh, he goes out.
Really struggling to come off time, losing no positions. His team is also going to be bobbling him up right now. Not the best of restarts for him.
Yep, Kapil, you are right now your audio is very low, so if you could get it back up, it would be really good. Aberpan has now gained one position from his earlier position. I think he did get a move done. Interestingly, Washington and Nirma seems to have had a bad hash, and he's also lost position. And both the second cars of both the constructors are right now all the way at the back. So not sure what happened there.
Yep, I think when Nirma was caught up in that incident and had wind damage and had to quit. But yeah, we have Abhi hot in the tail of Madhav, and that fight between Thermo and Vistage has allowed them to check out almost 4 seconds ahead right now.
Yep. First podium.
But just imagine this, round 21, they've been fighting all season long, and then very, very close to the end of the championship, and so close right now. It's just so brilliant to see, just like last season.
Absolutely, and I think something to note here is that although Abhi and Madhav has been fighting the entire season, they haven't had in terms of points, they haven't had a direct fight so far.
Well, it's about time, I would say.
Absolutely.
Better late than never.
And
well, Thermo's had a fantastic start. I have to mention that he's moved up into P3. So unfortunately, Mr. G's dropped down all the way to P16 with a pit stop. Faizan's moved up to P4. That's a great showing from him so far.
So do you think are you going to like treat your junior driver, I would say, of Thermo to some snacks after the race if he does get a podium?
If he keeps it on track and gets a podium, I will definitely do so.
Yep. Because as it stands right now, he is pulling away from Faizan, I believe. Let's have a look.
Yep. The race is long. Let's hope that both of them keep it together on track. I don't want to see any more fusses about them, and so that they can have a clean and nice and tidy finish all the way to the end. Yep. But having said that, I'm sure something's going to happen in the next one.
We have Avi who seems to be having an up and down race, as he seems to be struggling. He seems to be quite inconsistent, if I would say so.
Yep, it definitely looks like it. Yep.
Deepak Raj is keeping good pace with this pack right now. But so far, like, we're seeing multiple packs of DRS chains right now, but hopefully that has changed going in. Mr. G has joined back, so I believe it was a disconnection, and that's why he gave way there.
You won't be pleased to know that he's all the way at the back of the field.
Yep. I mean, all the drivers who I think below P12 will right now be praying for a safety car. Now let's have Electrip and Dawn, who are now moving in a pack and who are close by, but they did have that incident. But let's see if Electrip is gaining on Rambo. He's gaining 7 to 1 second per lap.
Yeah, so I think Electrip will be looking to get back into the top 10 after his jump start.
Yep. Avi has gotten past Faizan, among other things, and I think he will now be looking forward to chasing down Thermo, as he has now been released from the clutches of Faizan. But I think now Deepak Raj might be looking to get a one-up on Faizan if he does have the pace. But Aaron Gavin is also trying to chase down Deepak. Deepak Raj, after Mexico, he's been having like such a good. He's been doing really good performances. Like he has become a driver who can now consistently score points in Tier 2.
That's great to see from a challenger. That's what we want from challengers, to be able to score points, to be able to finish as high as possible in our tier races. And Deepak Raj is such a driver who's been able to do that.
Yep, as we say that he has not spun out till now, so which is positive.
think Winster left the session again. I think he's having brake pedal issues.
Yep.
Just stay on board with the lead battle, man. This is super close. I'm really getting a lot of flashbacks to last season, where there was another Ferrari who was in the commentary box and he's going down the inside in T4, but luckily both of them are smart enough to keep it on track and not get too feisty. Yeah, this is the battle to watch. I'd watch this all day long if I have to, because the stakes that are involved here.
Yep. Great battle going.
Aburban has also made a great charge up the field. He's moved up to P8. He's had a horrendous qualifying all the way back in P16, I believe. Yeah, he's gone 6 places. Even Monk up to P9, moving up 8 positions. So great showing from them so far.
Yep. Yep. And Aaron Gavin has gotten ahead of Deepak Raj, but I think now Deepak Raj, if he can stay within the DRS of Aaron Gavin, would be able to edge further ahead.
I think that's what Deepak Raj will be looking to do, just get pulled along with the DRS of Aaron Gavin.
Yep.
Can you give us a show on who's got what tires fitted?
Yep.
I want to see who's the lead, medium, and Faizan's the lead. That's good stuff.
It's a good stuff. Exactly. I mean, if he does go into softs, he will be able to make further gains after the pit stops. But of course, as I did mention in my pre-race talk, it is not a very strong strategy in Brazil.
Yep. The tire difference is not too much. The performance is more or less the same. It might help out, eke out a little performance at the end of it, but it's not the preferred strategy.
Yep. I mean, if you're talking generally about the tires themselves, the stints themselves, we do 16 laps on the softs, followed by the remaining laps on the mediums. So that's really not much, and you don't really have a space for an overcut there as well.
Yep, absolutely. I've been trying to find creative ways, trying to go around the outside, but not finding it. Looking for a switchback, but nothing doing there. Let's see if we get a board of their telemetry if possible, and see how much ERS they have on board.
Let's have a look.
Got the DRS open, but yeah, both of them completely depleted. I'll be thinking of the move around the outside. Can he stick it? No, they're still side by side. Man, that is a fantastic move. Moves up into P1. Maybe Shadaluk might have just given it to him, considering that he might have had the pace. He's very close, hot on the tail of RB17. He just wants to recharge those batteries to probably stick it to him a little later on the race.
Yep, both of them seem to be quite even on tire wear as well. But I think Madhav has slightly better front tires, slightly worse front tires. So right now, Abhi also seems to be conserving his tires a tiny bit better.
Yep. But it just goes to show you, how much pace Abhi has. Probably just nicely, slowly rolled his way towards Shadaluk, not pushing his tires not too much, not pushing that ERS, conserving it and slowly getting that position secured, just so that he can stay ahead comfortably with all that extra performance at hand, and then probably stay ahead for the rest of the race.
Among other things about other star performances, I think Madhav would be coming back on Abhi right now as we say that, but he has used up his ERS, but both these drivers are currently low on ERS, but I think Madhav will now try to go on the outside over here.
This is a repeat move, this time reversing the roles. We've got a safety car come out.
Oh, that's interesting.
That we were having.
Can't figure out who is the culprit here. We've got a slow moving Williams in the last corner, in turn 4, but I'm not too sure. I don't see any retirements. I see the Renault of Dawn pitting right now.
I think we had a spin.
No drivers falling back as well.
I think we had a spin. And I think perhaps there was debris on the track, and which ultimately caused the safety car to emerge back.
We have rank pitting.
Yep, I think. I think what this means is that now everyone will now be going on to the hard tires.
Yep, I think this basically everyone's going to go on the hard tires and to remove any pit stop strategies. Yep, we have both the top 2 drivers pitting.
Yep.
Looks like this logical solution.
Yep,
But I'm interested to see if any characters like me in yesterday's race did not use the opportunity of a BSC or SC to box. So far, everyone's been smart, but I'm sure there'll be one of those characters. Are you, if you were a medium runner at this point, would you heed to this? Think of this as the chance to go on to mediums, or maybe you would probably want to extend your mediums stint a little longer, maybe a couple of laps to like
so
23 or 24, and then put on the softs.
so it totally depends. I would definitely not stay out at this point because there is no advantage to that strategy. But one thing I may do is that I might, if especially if I'm a lead car at this point, I will bolt on the softs and try for a 2-stop. But given the type performance here, I probably would not go for that here as well.
So I'd like to point out that Madhav has gone on to the mediums and Papi is on the hards. I don't think the mediums are going to go till the end, to be honest.
Yep, that's a
No,
very
but
risky.
think about it. We've got another 2-3 laps, so it's pushing is not the ideal, but considering the pace difference he's going to have in the beginning, I think it might pan out if he can get that 3 seconds to begin with, and then maintain that through the second half of the race. That won't be such a bad strategy. I can see why he's gone for that move.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be very good. Even for me, I think I pitted out of the VSC in lap 13 and went on to the mediums and ended up with 83% wear at the end. So yeah, it was pretty close. So let's see.
Yeah, but the hards will also pick up the pace towards the end, so that will be an interesting call right now.
Yeah, the race is poised perfectly right now with the top two on different strategies. Let's see what happens.
Yep. Aaron Gavin also on the medium, so interesting. But let's have a look at penalties. As we can see, Faizan with 3 second, Cryptid 3 second, elective 3 seconds. But overall, a very clean race from the grid.
Faizan seemed to have dropped back. He was not P8, I think.
He did lose. I think he lost time in the pits. Perhaps got held up. As
Maybe
Ran
just changed his wing as a precautionary measure, maybe.
could be. Interestingly, people are getting 3 second penalties under safety car, so that's weird.
That's very typical of our tier 2 boys. They need some action even in the slow speed stuff. So they get a little antsy and this is bound to happen. I've seen this over and over again. You get more action typically in your safety car time than during the rest of the race.
Quite a big gap. Quite a big
behind the safety car.
Quite a big gap right now between the various drivers.
If Harry Rock's having another race to forget, it's good that he's even in the lobby right now, but considering how he's fared so far, I don't think he's in the best state of mind right now.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, Monk taking 5 seconds for touching Cryptid.
But this has worked against Thermo. Of course, he was keeping pace with Avi as well. So if he can maintain the pace he had, and of course driving on the hards is of course a different story entirely because we do have less mechanical grip available. But if he can,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yep, go ahead.
I would like to point out, Cryptid got 5 seconds and he has not pitted under the safety car. He is on 8 lap old parts. I don't understand why he hasn't.
The funny thing is that
8 seconds pit stop again.
That collision was literally the first rule of racing that you're not supposed to break. That's never hit your teammate.
I mean, he is not his actual teammate, so I guess we can take an exception here.
Monk won't be happy about that.
And I would like to thank everyone for tuning into today's stream. Of course, like what are your predictions on the SC restart? The last safety car restart, although it is now not a safety car restart as well because the race got discarded. We had the Red Bull of Rand spinning out. So do you think what do you think is going to happen in today's race?
It would be fun to find out because half the grid is on hards, some of them are mediums. Some guy that is Rant, of course, it has to be Rant. He's on softs. It's looking good.
To me, it feels like Rand has gone on the soft just to avoid spinning out.
I don't know. That might probably backfire on him if history has anything to go by.
Yep. But as Harry has boxed once again.
I don't know
Why
what
did-
Harry is doing there.
Yeah,
One more lap of safety car, I believe. So
Yeah,
all this is going
but
back to Madhav.
safety car is in this lap, as we have had 3 laps on the safety car. And let's see
oh
what
boy.
happens now on the restart. Let's see how good, how well these drivers have got their temperatures up.
Where's
Temperatures
Thermo?
up. Thermo seems to be, yeah. Thermo's like backing out. I think he's trying to slingshot his way onto the straight.
Anytime now.
Yeah, safety car is into the pit. They can resume racing at any point right now. As
Go, Thermo, go! Taking it really nice and gingerly and right across the line. We've got another collision just to bless us with the restart, and we are back in green flag racing here.
And to add to Harry's misery, he spun out in sector 2 again.
oh, that's got to hurt. Madhav getting an absolute brilliant flyer, able to catch the drivers off guard. But of course now he does need to nurse those tires till the end if he is planning on a one stop. But for the
Crash being very attacking here, going to go around the outside of Faizan. No, but he's keeping his line blocking against Abapan right now. But he's definitely the man in charge on those medium tires, looking to use that advantage to get ahead of Faizan.
absolutely. As Rand retires. As
Oh, and I mean, I was wondering when this is going to happen. It took 15 laps, but yeah.
Unusual place. It's more or less almost the same place where Hamilton lost it, but not really. It's before the turn. Or is it? No, it is where Hamilton. Yep.
the fast rider, that is quite a deceiving. It can be a deceiving contest, especially with the curbing. Perhaps he had to take. We don't know what happened. Could have been an incident as well, as the drivers do try to go side by side. Most of the drivers completely using their ERS deployment right now.
I did not quit again. I don't know what he's doing, but he's almost a lap down right now. He's just probably less than 8 seconds.
Electrip goes around the outside of the Rambo in turn 3, but I think Rambo will now be planning to come back at him. He thinks about a move, but decides against it. But now the Mercedes is right now running P8 and P7 right now. Now, of course, now Deepak Raj also now going as he's going through the ghosted car of Washingford and Nirma.
Yeah, this Nirma's a lap down because of his disconnection probably. That's not a happy tale for Williams and their constructor battle. But yeah, what more can be said about that?
Yep. Aaron Gavin also the mediums will now be looking fast to get past Avi, but Avi does have the nice DRS of Thermo. As we can see, his brakes heat up and glow red. But we will be having DRS enabled as Madhav crosses the line.
Thermo's still hanging in there in P3. Avi's had a great chance to in the first stint, but he's not able to really capitalize, and get further. Having said that, Deepak Raj and Ababan still battling side by side, going around the outside, and Ababan thinking of a switchback does and get the move done on the inside and moves up into P7.
As we see that Wilster G has retired in the pits. I believe he couldn't compensate the technical issues, and among other things, like Faizan has left the session as well.
He can rejoin as soon as possible.
Yep, he should be able to. And as we say that Aaron Gavin is also now chasing this pack, but it will be quite difficult to overtake Avi with that DRS with the DRS Avi will have right now. But further up ahead, Avi is keeping relatively in closely with Madhav right now on the hard tires.
Yep.
I think this is the point where Madhav has to use his advantage that he has with the medium tires and pull out the gap before they start falling off and the soft tires and the hard tires.
Electrip has a tiny movement over there as and he's looking for the Rambo gets back the position on him.
Electrip really suffering in that third sector. He had a huge moment in qualifying and then he was just not able to get on that power smoothly. Having a lot of issues during the course of quali and race. Now just another moment and just another position. So very close to midfield right now, all the way from P5 all the way down to P11 and 12. Wow. Look at that huge train of cars. This is not a very common characteristic.
Faizan somehow squeezes his way in as was it the Red Bull of Thermo we just saw? And we have another safety car.
And yeah, we had the two McLarens collided as well, trying to avoid the Red Red Bull in the middle of the track. So yeah, that's very unfortunate for the McLarens as well.
And that just gave another lifeline to Harry Rocks over there.
Oh
Yes, I think
man,
Kapil won't be happy with third move.
I knew it was too good to be true. I just knew it. You cannot have hope for Red Bull. It's just like Mr. Man United story probably, but yeah. Safety car, would you pit again? You know, considering that now
I
we
might.
can put the softs to the end.
If I was Abhi, I would pit again. Yeah, and Abhi does pit.
That's quite an interesting strategy.
Good body to medium.
Well, this
He can go.
plays
He can go to the softs actually. If he does.
Yep,
He plays
yep,
God,
yes,
right?
they can. But looking at the story for the medium run, this is going to help them massively. There's 3 more laps of minimal tire wear. That's really going to help them in the cause. I don't know why. This is something that needs to stop. Anyone who keeps weaving around during the safety car period is just asking for more wear, tire wear. I don't know why. I mean, it's of course something that you see real life drivers do it, but it makes absolutely zero sense to do it in the game because you're just spoiling your tires for zero benefit. Back me up on this, Master.
So we do have a couple of drivers now boxing, and a lot of drivers have gone to the mediums, but Abhi has gone into the soft. So that will be an interesting battle towards the end of the race, of course. But now he will have a lot of cars to overtake right now.
I'm still a little sketchy on whether the socks will make it to the end. So I think
We
safety
did.
car won't
They can
have
do 16 laps, and I think we'll have the safety car for 3 laps with the current how far the grid is spread out right.
There is a
Oh,
Constantino
is
effect.
that 5 seconds?
Oh boy.
Is that 5 seconds? Indeed.
It is.
Yep. So we have 2 safety cars right now. So it seems that tiers are complement each other. We don't have. We have a clean race in one, and the other race we have like less basically.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't really have a clean race in tier 1, but there were no safety cars. So.
Yep, exactly. Like tier 2 just needs to step it up. You know, like they cannot take a more dirty tier 1 race. Like virtual safety car is a baby for them. That's like the minimum. They're just gonna step it up into safety cars just to show us.
We have Electrib as well, who has now boxed onto the softs. But oh, he has a 5-second penalty. Interesting.
I don't know why he's boxed. He can't take those.
And he's changing his wing, so he has wing damage. Unfortunate.
It's a nice time to be, you know, putting on fresh rubber, just fixing your car. I know it'll put you down the field line. It's gonna be. It is quite a difficult track to overtake, considering the huge DRS train that we've seen so far. So he will, but considering he'll be on the freshest tires on the softs, I think he definitely has it to make a couple of positions down the line.
And it benefits you in more ways than one, because it's not just about the grip you have. It also means that you can be more cautious in terms of warnings, because you wouldn't drift wide and get a penalty essentially.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just that mindset, you know, it's that safety factor that you have with the soft tires. It's just, it gives you like a license to go crazy. You know what? The tires are like, don't worry, man, I'm there for you. Just do your thing, and I'll hold you right here on the ground. I mean, I wish that was what the tire wanted to say for you, Masum, when you spun out in spectacular fashion yesterday. But
Actually, when I hit the ball, the tires were like, do I want to stay here for a second, and then it went off.
Yeah. There's a nice little glitch there. A false sense of hope. And then reality hits.
So we're up in the lap 21. Got 8 laps already for those medium runners, but I mean, unfortunately we don't have the tire graphic with the percentage, but I'm sure it's quite minimal, around 10-15%. They can definitely push it.
It's yellow right now, so it's approaching 30. So from what I can, it's lime green, so that's around 20% I would say, just below 20%.
Right.
Nectrip served 5 seconds in the pit just to get another one. So yeah.
Hopefully he does not have damage.
You know, he felt.
Yeah, he's missing an end plate.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have an end plate. That is great.
And he doesn't have telemetry on, so we should probably just throw him a penalty right now.
Yep.
I mean, there's not just an end plate. There's like quite a big amount of damage there. So I don't know what he was doing.
Probably just want some action, during the safety car, as do all tier 2 drivers. So yeah, just doing his part.
Great for us viewers and commentators, but not fun for the one driver.
Who knows? Maybe they just get a kick out of it. No, it's like the civic duty as tier 2 drivers to cause chaos wherever possible.
So,
Faizan is like the leader in that, but yeah.
So we have
Yep,
interesting
he
test
has
strategies
joined
playing
the
out. We have the top 6 are essentially the drivers who have opted to not pit. We have the safety car coming in this lap, but below them, everyone except the exception of Harry are on fresh softs. Harry, Dawn, and Washington are on fresh softs or mediums. So it'll be interesting to see what happens at restart.
One driver to keep an eye on will be Abhi, as everyone above him are drivers who did not pit, and he's on one lap old softs, looking to make his way back up to Charlotte in P1.
He's taking his very time there, Shalak, with the interesting restart. And then Gavin in P2 and a Burple in P3. Wow, they've really made some great gains here, but it's green flag racing once again after the end of the safety car 2. A lot of locking up, a lot of Aji-Baji stuff. Abarpan straight away on the charge, making a position up already through Faizan. Deepak Raj very, very close to Abarpan there, but huge gaggle of cars going into segment 2, but everyone was kept clean so far.
Yep, absolutely.
Abhi already making up one position within 2 corners there.
Yeah, we really need to get a move on because those tires, considering he has significant advantage, but
we do have the lap car of Nirma also in this mix right now.
This is not acceptable. This needs to be penalized. This is very distracting for Abhi.
Yep, exactly.
It almost looks deliberate, just to throw Abhi off, considering he's in Williams and they're in a battle. Man, that's just disgusting.
That shouldn't be happening in any people.
I think now Abhi would now be trying to get a move down on Deepak Raj. He's boasting his ERS. I think Deepak Raj is also fighting too much. And Abhi will be moving into P4 in turn 1. But let's see if he can get the move done. Yep, he does get the move done. Now he'll be looking forward to chasing down Abarpan. So 3 laps. So right now, championship battle, 3 laps off was a 10 lap mediums.
Interesting. We've got a little over 2.5 seconds between P1 and P4. Gap is definitely coming down very, very quickly. Just a matter of more laps until he's right back up at him. Let's see if he can keep it together, Sharalak.
Yep. Among other things, Rambo is now on the back of Faizan right now on his teammate. But on fresh softs, will he be making? Will he there with team order? Is what I want to ask today.
Knowing Faizan, that's not even a possibility. He's going to make his life as difficult as possible. Even throw him off the track if required to show assert his dominance that he is the lead McLaren. But it's not going to be any simple task to get through Faizan.
Yep.
Having said that, Abhi 70 going around the outside of Abarpan with those supremely fresh softs and superior tires going around the outside. Aaron Gavin probably will be shaking his boots right now because he's the next one in line.
Yep. Brilliant move from there on. He's taking down the outside. Has DRS, but I think Abarpan will try to get a move. Thinking about trying to go on this outside, but he knows that he can't really compete with those softs. But he might get a nice little toe from Abhi all the way up to towards Aaron Gavin perhaps.
Yeah, definitely. He might just keep this strategic, stick to the back of him and slingshot his way closer and closer to his actual rival, which is Aaron Gavin. Now the beauty so far that I have noticed is that the top 4 have no penalties and the rest all have penalties.
Yep.
It looks so neat on the standings. You just take a moment to look at that.
As we say that we have Avi who seems to have had a moment and has lost a lot of positions since the restart. But Harry Rocks has moved into the final points position right now. And it'll be interesting to see if he can maintain it.
Well, will you look at that? That is...
His race was done and dusted, but here he is in P10 scoring points. It can change in a matter of 2 laps.
I believe Monk had an incident at the last corner. He went off track. We just saw that as we switched scenes. And... or was that Rambo?
We have the stack once again increasing as you said that.
Oh, yeah.
The top 4 were currently free, now it's down to top
I can see I can see yellow flags in sector 1, as I can see the run of Dawn seems to be really far way back off, and Electrib also having a complete hash of the race today.
Yep. Just because of the silly little incidents, he had to do that extra stop and just throw away his race.
Yep, I did.
Yep.
Yep, go ahead. I did talk to him before the race, and he did say that he wasn't really feeling the track. He was feeling really uncomfortable with the track, especially in terms of putting down power.
Yep. That is definitely showing today. Just one little moment to ruin your race, because I must say the Tier 2 grid today has been as compared as ever. Looking at huge DRS trains across the field, and having said that, RB17 is right now has moved up into P2. Just one more car, 1.4 seconds is the gap to the leader. Let's see how quickly or how long it takes to get to the leader, because this fight is going down to the wire.
As Harry boxes again for fresh soft this time, so that's interesting. But Abhi already getting 3 tons up on Madhav right now, so it's going to be a matter of whether he can maintain his tires. But Madhav's tires, of course, will wear at a lower rate than Abhi, so I guess softs, they're around the same in terms of tire wear. As Dawn retires now, but in the pits, so I believe that will not be a safety car. But yeah, that's that. But Aaron Gavin in a very competitive P3 right now, but Burpen is chasing him down, and if he can keep his place, Burpen could be getting his second podium of the season, after he had his victory in China.
Yeah, and look, very strong performance from the lead market driver, gotta be said.
Abhi within DRS. I think he won't make a move this lap, but he'll be looking to get as close as possible to Madhav before he makes a move.
Yep, the gap between P1 and P2 getting lower and lower by the corner. Just look at the pace Abhi has right now. It might be at the end of this lap where he could have a chance. Even the battle for P3 and 4, that's also under a second. Let's have a look at the timing sheet right now, because it really is some ridiculous pace that RB17 is showing right now.
Yep,
but how
see.
long he can keep it together and keep that kind of aggression on, time will tell.
Yep.
He's actually lost out with DRS right now, 1.2 seconds.
I think Madhav he had a moment out of turn 3, and Madhav I think uses ERS at that point in time to essentially break out of DRS. But now in sector 2, which is of course one of the most demanding sectors in the entire grid of grip, he will be getting the DRS back. But let's see if he can maintain it through the final corner of Jinsao.
Sector 2 is where those fresh sauce will really come into picture.
ERS seems to be more or less the same for both the drivers right now.
That's good. Shalak needs to keep this strategic, because it's not the end of the race. If RB17 is right on him, he needs to maintain, he needs to have something left in the tank to make a move back, to fight back in the case where RB17 gets really close. So it's very important that he preserves not only the life in his tires, but also some ERS in the bank to fight back against a very aggressive RB17 right now.
Yep, absolutely. But Abhi just gained over 6 tenths through turn 4 right now, so I believe there is a battle of whose tires are good. So if Abhi is not able to get past Madhav, it's going to be a battle of whose tires hits a cliff first.
Yep. But considering that he's done so many more laps, almost 8 laps to more worn out tires on the harder set, I think both of these will more or less be falling off the cliff around the same time, I'd like to say. But having said that, RB17 is completely on the overtake, going to go around the outside, gets a purple sector just to put the icing on the cake, going around the outside, side by side into turn 2. Look at that beautiful line by Shalala, probably cutting the track. We may not know for certain, but Shalala keeps the position, very aggressive defending there, but he keeps the move.
Yep. And interestingly, Abhi forgot to turn on his DRS there, which is quite interesting. But let's have a look at ERS, as both the drivers have completely used up their ERS, but Abhi is having a tiny bit more in the tank.
That little bit more could make the difference at the end of the day. But yeah, this battle is not over yet.
Yep, absolutely. We have Rambo now
Said that,
scrambling.
yeah, a lot of scrambling going down in the midfield. Cars are quite close. Rambo with those fresher softs, trying to devour Monk. So far, nothing happening there, but it's just a matter of time, I
Yep.
guess.
We will now have a second go right now. At Madhav, he has 7 laps to go. It's a matter of who can get ahead first.
Doesn't look to be pushing so much this time. It definitely looks like both of them are taking a breather for now. That is the space of taking a breather, just less than 2 or 3 tenths. But yeah, you as the car in front can figure out whether the car is charging or not, just with that pure acceleration that a car gets through deploying overtake. But having said that, it's going down the inside. Chandler gets gives him some position, can unfortunately gets the drive out of the corner to keep the position there.
Just Madhav is Abhi's putting Madhav under a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah, but I really want to look at their ERS position, because this is they're very equal on it. Looks like they've got something in the tank, because even though they're so close, they just know that the race isn't over just yet. Having said that, Monk makes a mistake, goes down. Rambo taking full advantage, moves up 3 positions up into P6. It's fantastic driving from him.
Interesting to notice that I think Madhav is using his ERS before the DRS injection zone, which is why Abhi is not able to close in on him in the last into the final corner.
I think it's just the way Shalalak takes the corner. He takes a very wide line, which allows him to be early on the throttle in the final corner. I'm speculating.
Ooh, as we say that, Abhi absolutely sends it into turn 4, but goes wide and Madhav gets a position back. Ooh,
what a switch back!
Whoa, what a battle right now, as both of them are going side by side, and Abhi has got damage in his front wing from that contact.
Very light damage there.
It's lime green, but nothing to be too alerted about. It might give him a little bit of a drop, but it's not the end of the world. Abhi can definitely keep it together and still make a push on. He's very close still. He's got the DRS, he's got more ERS as well, so it's definitely not over yet. He might make a final lunge right now, considering that he's got a little bit of damage, just to end it, honestly, because this is hurting his car a little too much, looking at the state of affairs, just how much he's pushing it. But yeah, he may not be able to sustain this kind of pace so much longer.
Look at Madhav's tire wear as well. Those tires are absolutely crying right now.
Man, not looking good for him, but he's definitely.
But let's see. But it's basically dead tires versus now we have dead tires versus the damaged front wing. So it's definitely going to be interesting now.
Yeah, definitely.
So thankful they have both cars pointing in the same direction after that scary moment from both of them.
Yes, absolutely. That is, you could have played that simulation back probably 50 times, and probably 45 times on that they probably would have crashed out. But they kept it together right here when it mattered, and great power to them.
Yep, absolutely. And I think now that front wing damage is costing Abhi quite a bit, as he is falling out of DRS and losing speed in the high speed corners.
I'm not too sure about it. Look at this ERS. He definitely looks like he's conserving right now. Maybe sticking back a little bit. He's still in DRS, which is the important thing, but he's definitely not pushing. He's got over 30% DRS more. So I think he's just conserving, harvesting a bit for a lap to make a great charge in the next lap or so.
Yep.
I think that front damage will be hurting him in second.
Yep, because we can see in every corner he is losing quite a bit, really.
Yep. Even the battle in P3 and P4 is still very close. Even just like the battle up in front with those hard tires, Amarpan is also very close, but doesn't look to be much of a tail there either. Avi gone rogue, finally getting through and coming back into P5. He had a horrendous restart at the end of the 7-second safety car. So brilliant drive from him to get back up into P5.
Among other things, Rambo now has damage. We can see that Rambo also has damage right now.
Oh, that's definitely going to hurt, because he just made all those overtakes up to get up to P6. Now Monk with those worn out parts will definitely pounce on this opportunity to make a move again.
Yep, absolutely. So something to note here is that once you do get front wing damage, even a tiny bit, as the race progresses, you would actually have the tire wear increase gradually.
Yeah, definitely with all those extra
No,
long.
not tire wear, the front wing damage. If you start with say 10% damage on the front wing, progressively that would increase to 70%, 80%. As we say that Madhav's tires are looks absolutely short.
Yeah.
We have a replay.
Oh, are we going for the move? But that's out.
Oh, spins out! What is? Oh,
He's
fuck!
done for the day.
That is the, I think, the constructors battle effectively sealed today.
That's
Oh boy.
absolutely heartbreaking.
Yep.
Stewards will definitely want to have a look at this, but damn.
Let's spectate sound because this I don't want to see. It's absolutely heartbreaking to
Yep,
watch that car
absolutely.
just sitting there, considering he could have been on course for a win there. Absolutely sad.
All that effort across the season. He's been trailing Shalulak ever since round 1 or 2. All came down to this to, at a critical stage to make up some lost points. Considering that we had 3 races, he was in prime position for the win, to get some points on the board. But that, I believe, has sealed the fate for the WDC. With Shalulak now with no penalties right out in front with almost a 5-second gap. It's unfortunate for the Ferrari boys because they've been amazing all season long. It had to end a little prematurely, but well, that is unfortunately the tale of Tier 2 season, Tier season 5. Yeah.
I think mathematically it's still possible since we have that Mexican GP to still go, but I think practically I think Madhavs has it in the bag because it will be like a 40 odd plus point gap now, and it's highly unlikely we can win.
In constructors, they will now move to a gap of, I believe, around 26, I believe.
26. There was 1 point coming into the race. And Washington Nirma is out, so plus 25.
Yep.
Yeah, not the way we wanted the Brazilian Grand Prix to end after that great battle between basically the whole race.
And we have a big F in chat for our championship contender. Been brilliant all season long. Unfortunate to see him have a demise like that. But moving on to the last lap of the Grand Prix, a Burpan is super close. He's been hot on the tail of Aaron Gavin all race long. He probably has the better life in tires. No, he definitely doesn't. He's got red front tires compared to a little better for Aaron Gavin, but he might just make a final push. He's got nothing to lose. He's not in championship, but neither of them are. I'll just see how it pans out.
But right now, Aberpen is not in contention here right now. But he will keep the P3. But with the 3-second penalty, any chances of P2 are gone right now.
So I didn't notice from P4 like 11, 15. That's a lot of penalties.
Yep.
Notice that.
Have a look at P10 and P11. They've only got 3 seconds, and they're quite close to the cars ahead. There might be a chance for Harry Rocks to get some more points for Ferrari, but yeah, we'll have to wait and watch.
As we say, this crosses the line and gets the WDC for Tier 2 season 5, I believe.
5.
Yeah, I keep. Aaron Gavin gets P2, Aberpen gets P3, Avi finishes P4 after coming back all the way from P11 after the second safety car restart. Mung gets P5, Rambo P6, Faizan P7, Deepak Raj P8, Electrip, Deepak Raj P8 right now. And let's see if Electrip does get run up on the basis of penalties. Crossing the line, he goes P9 actually. Yep, he's P9. Cryptid gets P9 as he gets ahead of Electrip on penalties, and that is the top 10 for today.
As I think Faizan gets a plus 5 seconds for not serving it in the pit. As we have Monk, the driver of the day. I think he started dead last, but a great recovery from Monk as we have Madhav coming onto the podium.
Yep, absolutely. As we said, we will be having the podium finishers join us in the VC any minute. Kapil, do you want to take them away?
Yeah, to get them onto the scene. I believe Aaron Gavin and Shalalak are in the VC right now. Congratulations, Shalalak. Before we jump on to the celebrations, do you want to probably take it off with how the race went for you so far? It was very, very scintillating stuff between you and Abhi17 all race long. How was it for you?
I mean, this is probably one of the races I've enjoyed the most because this is it was a really intense battle. I was just really sweating throughout the entire race, and then at the end, unfortunately, I just saw it in my mirrors. He took too much curb, and then he was just straight into the wall.
Really, really unfortunate because that battle was. It looked like he had the upper hand, but he did have damage where you had in a higher tire wear and all that. It was like a very, very calculated, evenly laid out battle from the top two, but unfortunately had to end that way. Now, I don't know if it makes much of a difference, but considering how Mexico kind of played out, it kind of is a very nice repeat of that. I don't know, but in a way, it kind of almost seals the deal for you as the WDC. Any thoughts on like how it went for your season? Just give us a sense of the rest of
I
your season.
believe Madhav does take the WDC today as he has the gap of more than 52 points after this race.
hmm So massive congratulations to you, the
Yeah, I
WD.
didn't realize that.
So yeah, we'll come back to you in a second. Let's have a look round of interviews with our other podium finishers as well. Aaron Gavin, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
How was your race, mate? It was a little topsy turvy, but a great finish in P2 for you at the end. How was it?
Yeah, it was good. There were a couple of incidents in the start.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of it, I lost the car. The second one was that was quite a good overtake move, I should say, on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
But that caused in an incident as well, which was very unfortunate and caused another safety car.
Yep.
Yeah. So the first one, I think it was my fault, uh, but I lost the car to be honest. The second one was not really my fault. We should have a look at the person's POV. So
Mm-hmm.
that will tell us everything.
And about one was like on your tail the entirety of the second half of the race. How did you react to his pressure? Did you know that you had it in the bag? Of course, there was that penalty to consider, but on finishing in P2 on track was also something was definitely on your mind. What was going through your mind as you were defending for P2 or P3 at the point
Uh,
at the time?
the main thing I was focusing on is saving ERS, which I was running out of very fast.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, I was at 2% ERS, and I managed to like pull away a bit from Abarpan.
All
Then
right.
in the end, I gained some ERS back, but luckily he didn't really catch up. In the end, he like the 7/10 gap was maintained luckily. So yeah, so it was quite good there.
Well, awesome race from you. Awesome points for Racing Point as well. Moving on to our P3. Abarpan, are you with us?
Yeah.
How was your race, man? I know it was a great finish considering how far behind you started out. I believe you were like what P14, P15 to start off with,
Yeah, I
and to
started
finish on
with
P3, man. That's still a drive. Gotta be said.
yeah, but probably should have got Aaron, but he drove really well, so massive congrats to him also. Like I couldn't just catch up to him, whatever I did. Yeah, it's whatever. It was very difficult, and he was really managing his tires also well. So yeah, well done to him. So yeah.
Just to get a sense of what was going through your mind as you were attacking, were you trying to conserve ERS not for a final push, or were you just like guns blazing throughout every lap, trying to stick it with him in that DRS zone? How comfortable were you trying to manage that kind of pace to with Aaron
I was
Gavin?
going, all guns blazing in the first few laps, and I realized that it wasn't really working out for me.
Hmm.
So I backed off for 2-3 laps and tried to conserve ERS and went for a final push. But I had one moment around his outside in the T1, but other than that, I didn't have much chances on him. So yeah, that was
Mm.
very. Yep.
Well, regardless, a great race. I mean, for me, you were the driver of the day. So congrats on that as well. Good points on board for Mercedes for the constructors battle. Shall I look back to you? I want some thoughts on how your season has progressed, because if I can remember correctly, it started out amazingly. I mean, you were head over heels, better than everyone for the first half of the season, and then the second half was a very different tale. He was struggling not only in qualifying but also in the race. It was a very dark time for you, if I can remember correctly. Now, just to finish off on a very good high, just give us an experience of how your season has been so far.
And up to France or Austria, I think it was going pretty well, and then out of there, I don't know. I just went into a sort of slump, you could say. And it wasn't looking that good, and then in the past few races, managed to bounce back. That's just it.
Hmm.
And
And
I
yeah,
haven't won. We haven't won the US championship yet because the gap is only 47 points, 46 points. Sorry.
Yep, the gap is
The
46 with two
difference.
races to go.
oh, my bad, my bad. Story continues for another race. But on a separate note, I just want to get a sense of how tier 2 has evolved. I know you've been here for a long time. I want to get a sense of how you feel the competition is. Your top competitors, be it Abi, be it Avi or Wilster G. People who have really really good pace in qualifying, and these are the guys who are pushing you throughout the race as well. Do you have any words of how your competition has been throughout the season?
Yeah, they're they keep me on my toes. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be pushing this hard. And in some sort of way, I have to thank them actually.
Yep, definitely. All right. Any final words from our other commentators?
Not from my side. I think I've said everything.
No, we just
You
about
said
covered
yes.
it.
Yeah, you covered everything I wanted to ask.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, right.
Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. This is the end of round 21. There are two races left for tier 2. The battle is not over yet, as we can see mathematically. But tune in for our next race, which is on Thursday night. We will go into Paul Ricard and ACC, and of course, tune in the weekend for our tier 1 and tier 2 coverage of the F1 season. We move on to Shadalug's home Grand Prix, if you will, in Abu Dhabi. So yeah, definitely stick around for that. Until then, I've been Kapil